Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I am going to explain IP routing in local area network. To be honest with you, I am so excited to explain this concept to you. This one is actually one of the crucial topics of networking. I can't wait to explain. Let's jump into the video. This is the basic network that I'm gonna use to explain this IP routing in local area networks. A simple network with layer 2 switches and set of endpoints. I have already explained similar networks in my earlier videos, but we discussed only about the traffic within the VLAN. We haven't discussed about the scenario between the VLAN. As long as you need to communicate with your local network user, you don't need to modify this network. Just layer 2 devices are enough. But the real internetwork will not work like that. Every user has to communicate to another network to get some details, to get some information. This is where layer 3 comes in. Layer 3 is entirely responsible for network to network communication. We also got a problem in front of us. Let me tell you what it is. For example, I am bringing a layer 3 device, a well known device router. I have already explained in my previous routing video. Router is purely routing the IP packets. In order to route between the network, IP address is mandatory. But in layer 2, the story is different. In layer 2, everything is MAC address. The forwarding is based on the hardware address only. You don't see IP address anywhere in the layer 2 switch. You may ask, then how we are gonna achieve this? How we gonna make the communication between layer 2 and layer 3? There are three methods to achieve that. I'll explain one by one. I'm also gonna split this video into two parts. Okay, let's talk about those three methods. In first method, with my layer 2 network, I'm simply gonna use router, the layer 3 device router to route between my VLANs. Before that, let's check, are we able to ping between the VLANs? This is my network. I'm able to reach a device within the VLAN, within my network. Let me ping another device which is in different network. I cannot reach it. Okay, now let's connect the cable. A router which lays on my connectivity, just like a stick, right? So this topology is called router on a stick. Okay, the real challenge. Now all these three switches know there are two VLANs in this network, and this switch has to transfer this VLAN information to this router, but the router only understand the IP packets. Now what can we do? I can configure this link in this interface, this switch interface, fast Ethernet 0/1 in trunk mode. If I configure like that, the traffic belongs to these two VLANs will be tagged with the VLAN 802.1q tagging, and it will be transferred to router. But does the router understand what it receives? No, it will not. The router's physical interstate, the router's physical interface will not differentiate these two VLAN traffics. So what we need to do is we need to create the virtual interface or sub interface in this physical interface, which means this physical interface will be splitted into two interfaces logically. Each logical interface will carry the respective VLAN traffic. Let's configure it. I need to put this interface in trunk mode. So the trunk mode is enabled, but here we should enable the static trunk mode. We should not configure the dynamic or dynamic desirable mode, because the device in other end, the router, will not understand the DTP negotiation, the trunk negotiation. So we need to configure the trunk manually at the switch end. Now it is fine. Let's do it in the router. We have to configure the sub interface. So we need to give dot and the sub interface ID. Usually we can give the VLAN ID. Now you can see we are in sub interface configuration mode. This layer 3 router will be acting as a gateway to my both VLANs. So let me configure the gateway IP address in this logical interface. Read this error message. Configuring IP routing on a LAN subinterface is only allowed if that subinterface is already configured as a part of IEEE 802.1q, which is nothing but the VLAN tagging. So we need to tag the VLANs in this interface. Let's tag. I'm using DOT1Q encapsulation and I am tagging the VLAN 2. Now the IP address accepted. Let's switch to another subinterface for another VLAN. This time I'm tagging 3. It is done. The router side configuration is done. Let's verify the interfaces. Subinterface is created, but the status is down. We have to make the physical interface up. Don't forget this. And also remember, we didn't configure any IP address on the physical interface. Everything we gonna do on logical interfaces alone. It become up. Both layer 1 and layer 2 is up. Let's see the routing table. Yes. Now the route is learning. It is learning via the logical interfaces. The verification part. Here we go. The first packet got failed because of the ARP timeout. Now I am able to communicate between the VLANs. I do have the layer 3 device and I can able to communicate with another VLAN. We shall trace and learn a little bit more. Since it is communicating to different network, it is reaching its gateway. When I open this, actually it is coming with the DOT1Q header as it is coming via the trunk link. the router knows which VLAN it belongs to. There is a VLAN ID. Then it receives the frame from VLAN, and when it is sending back to the destination, it is changing the VLAN to 3. You can note down here. And yes, this is how the communication is happening in router on a stick. Keep one more thing in mind. We can able to shut and unshut the logical interfaces independently, but if you do it in the physical interface, then the both logical interface will shut. So make sure the physical interface is always up. Both layer 1 and layer 2 have to be up. Large enterprise network, can you imagine bringing a network router in between the layer 2 switches? It will be annoying, right? Though it is a possible way, it is not recommended. In large enterprise, they prefer another device to do the layer 3 routing apart from the router in the LAN network. The device is nothing but multi-layer switches, or we can call it as layer 3 switches. In enterprise networks, we can bring the multi-layer switches instead of this kind of routers in LAN environment. I'll explain the multi-layer switches in my next part of the video. Until then, I'm signing off. If you like this video, hit the like button. Consider subscribing my channel. Don't forget to press the bell icon so that when I post the video, you'll get notified. Take care of yourself. Cheers and bye.